Hi, Commander Dave Wallace here again to talk a little bit about coaching. And this is going to be a pretty short video, not because coaching isn't a complex subject. Coaching is a really complex subject, and it's hard to do. And really, it's almost, and I say almost, it's almost beyond the scope of this course because it is so big. And there's plenty you can learn. And we're going to include some resources where you can learn more about it. But I would at least want to give a quick overview to show you that even though it's a big topic, and even though it's something that you can spend a lot of time on becoming an expert at, it's something that you can start doing right now. And what coaching is really about, it's about helping your followers. It's about getting the most out of them, asking them to do more, to stretch beyond what their capabilities might be right now. And so it's about learning new skills. It's about getting better at their job. It's about improving their performance overall. And you can play a role with that as a coach and accountability buddy that can help them meet some of their personal development goals. So, all right, what do we do? There's really kind of a 5-step, 5 is a bonus step process for coaching. So the first thing that's important is setting a goal, right? And so understanding that there's a thing that we need to work on. And this should be a collaborative process. If you're setting a goal where it's, well, follower, you need to work on A, B, and C, that's really hard for people to hear, right? And that goes back to the feedback idea. It's going to make them feel very defensive. Why do I need to work on these things? I don't understand. They're not important to me. Instead, this should be a collaborative process. What are the things that you want to work on? What are the things that would make you better? Like you're imagining yourself, you want to get promoted, you want to move up to the next level. What does that look like? Let's look back from that vantage point and what do we aspire to get better, right? So we're working together to set these aspirational goals, right? And remember the guidance, this doesn't changes here just because they're personal goals instead of organizational goals. They should be smart and or fast. Remember, fast is frequent and ambitious and specific and timely. Transparent, and then smart is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. So, but the key here is aspirational goals that you not only both agree to, but that the follower, that the coachee, if you will, really can buy into and really wants to do, right? It's not just something that's being foisted on them. The next step in this is to brainstorm resources. And look, here's an important point here. When I talk about coaching, it's not teaching. This is not about you, the leader, teaching your followers. Sometimes they're going to work on skills that you don't have yourself or that you don't have the ability to teach about, even if you do know about it. So, but what you can help them do is find resources and to help guide them to find resources. And look, this doesn't mean that you go find them resources. It means that you delegate to them, go find some resources, go find me a book. Go find some TED Talks about this topic, or find a course someplace, an online course that you can take, or at a community college, or some other, Toastmasters, because you want to get better at public speaking. Help them to think about what all the resources out there are to do a thing. So I can nearly guarantee you almost any skill, there's a YouTube video someplace that's going to help set you in the right direction. There's probably a book for dummies that's going to help you in the right direction. So again, my point here is that it's not you, the leader, as trainer. It's not you, the leader, as teacher. It's you, the leader, as coach, about helping them to find and helping your coachee, helping your followers to know what they want to go do better and be better at, and then helping them to find the resources to do just that. And then once they've done that, help them create a plan, right? And this is, again, you can delegate this out. This is them coming to you with, this is my plan. This is how I want to work on this thing. The plan should have weekly deliverables, something where they can get back to you in a weekly one-on-one or another meeting where they are making reports back to you. This stuff, again, just like delegation, they're reporting back to you that this thing got done, right? So if it's, I'm going to read this book. Okay, what's the plan? This week, you're going to go find a book, right? Find what book you want to read. And then next week, you're going to buy the book on Amazon, right? And then the following week, you're going to read chapter 1 and write a 1-paragraph summary on it or whatever, right? And get through it. And then at the end, we say, okay, are we doing better, right? So step 4 then is pretty obvious. A coachee acts on the plans and then reports back about those plans, right? I have done this thing, or, I really decided that wasn't a way to go and I want to go in this other direction instead. Okay, great. Way to take control of your own learning. let me encourage you to work on that, right? And it's not just about the learning. We should also set goals and resources and create plans around practicing, trying new things, right? And this is where, as a coach, as a leader, this can really become important, is helping people to try new things, giving them the space to fail, the space to try something out, the space to learn, not just by reading and analyzing, but to learn by doing. That's a really important role for leader coaches to help people get through. And the last piece here, and again, this is kind of the bonus, provide feedback, right? As they work through their plan, provide them feedback. When you tell me when we set out a plan where you're going to do 3 or 4 steps this week, and you do those 3 or 4 steps, and you tell me that, well, then you know what that the impact on me is. I really believe that you are dedicated to getting better in this area, and I really like to see how you are getting better. Can you keep that up? Or the opposite might be, when you set a goal and then you set out a plan for accomplishing that goal, and then you don't do the very first steps on it, that makes me question about how dedicated to this goal you really are. And maybe we need to revisit it, or what we're doing here. So what can you do differently in the future? Right. So just providing, again, that light touch, simple feedback about how things are going. Right. So this is a simple process, and it takes practice. And I'll tell you right now, I'm talking about practice. You're not going to get this done well the first time. This is something that you will have to get better at over time. Now is a time to experiment with it and try it out. Help the follower to the coachee to set a goal. Allow them to brainstorm resources. Help them to create a plan. And then work with them to complete that plan, be an accountability buddy, and provide them feedback about their efforts. That's how we ask people to grow, and how we get them to do even more for themselves and for the organization through coaching.